Hi everyone, thanks for taking the time to watch this short video. My name is Niamh and I'm a youth worker with KDYS in Trina. Usually at this time of year, myself and my colleagues across Kerry would be in your classrooms delivering this programme face to face. We should be at the moment sitting around, getting to know each other, playing some fun games and discussing all of your questions and expectations about the exciting journey you're all facing this autumn, embarking on a new journey into secondary school. Unfortunately, this is not possible this year. There are a lot of milestones and occasions you've been expecting that have not been able to happen during these uncertain times. Some of you were not able to have your confirmation, go on your 6th class school tour, say goodbye to your teachers, have a graduation party and so much more. I know all of your teachers have been working hard to stay in contact and will also miss experiencing all of these milestones with you. Regardless of the current circumstances, you are all about to embark and set off on an exciting journey into secondary school. The purpose of this video is to give information and answer any questions you may have about the transition from primary school into secondary school. We have sent out this booklet by email, so I hope all of you have it. It wasn't possible to send a hard copy, so I really would encourage you to look at it after watching this video and fill out any of the worksheets that you can. It would be great to have a discussion about this after, if you can take part in a Zoom call with the rest of your class or over the phone. We'll be available for phone support after this video. We and your teachers want to thank you for giving up, I suppose, a lot of the traditional milestones that I mentioned before about the school tour, the graduation, the end of year party. By us all following the guidelines put in place, you've all played a massive role in protecting your family, teachers and friends from this illness, and you should be so proud of that. You are all about to go through an exciting time of change. Change is different for everyone. We all react to it differently. Some may be excited about it, but the unknown can also make us feel scared, anxious and sometimes a little bit frightened. And this is completely normal. Trust me, I never once in my life expected to be making a YouTube video at the moment. But change is always good, and we are here to support you through this change. One of my favourite sayings that always helps me get through change when things are looking a bit scary and there's unknown times ahead of us, I think of the caterpillar. And just as the caterpillar thought his world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. So we never know what's around the corner. Okay, let's get started with session 1. Your first year in secondary school may be different to normal this year, but don't worry, your school will keep you and your parents updated on any changes that may arise if social distancing or COVID-19 restrictions are still necessary when you start school. This video aims to cover what to expect when you're starting your new school. Transitioning from primary school to secondary school is a big change. I'm sure some of you may be worried and uncertain about what your school will look like, but I'm sure you're excited about these changes also. Here are a couple of changes to prepare for, which will help you get off to an easier start in school. The first new change is, of course, a new environment. It always takes some time to familiarise yourselves with a new environment. Take the time to look around and get to know the place. It will feel different for a number of days or weeks. Think back to a family holiday, visiting a friend's house for the first time, or a new playground. It can take some time for us to just adjust to new surroundings. Secondary school has longer days. Secondary schools across Kerry vary in hours. The usual day consists of 3 blocks of 3 lessons, a small break, 3 more lessons, lunch, 3 lessons and finish. However, many schools have different timetables. The normal school day starts at approximately 9 a.m. This can vary. The day finishes at approximately 4 p.m. Some schools will have a half day during the week, so you might finish at 1:20, or you might have 3 full days with 2 shorter days. It all depends. My colleague Michelle is going to be going through this in a bit more detail in the next section. You may need to travel further to school. This may mean getting up earlier in the morning to travel to school and coming home a bit later. Getting on the bus may involve students from other schools in the locality. Usually on your first day, there will be no other students on the bus other than first years. There will be new subjects. This is really exciting. You'll get the opportunity to learn new subjects and languages. This may cause concern for some, but teachers have full understanding of the subjects you learned in your previous school and will introduce new subjects slowly. Michelle will also cover this further in the next section. Older students. This can be daunting, but please remember all these students were once first years too, and they understand what you're going through. Older students can be a really good support to you. Many schools have mentor programs. This involves older students who have been trained to support you in settling in. They may be introduced to you on your first day and be available to you throughout your first few months to guide you around the school and answer any questions you may have. Trina Moriarty Flynn is a fifth-year mentor in Presentation Secondary School, Tralee. She has made a short video for you all to explain her role as mentor and what supports she and other mentors offer to first years. You will also have more than one teacher. You may be used to having one or two teachers at the moment. This will change, regardless of the size of your school. You may only see some of your teachers once or twice a week, so it can take a little longer to get to know each other. This is a normal concern that comes up often when we deliver this programme in classes. Each and every teacher wants you to feel comfortable in school. They'll get to know you quickly. They're used to getting to know a lot of their pupils very quickly. You will have a year ahead. Most schools have class tutors also assigned to each class group. This is a teacher that you're invited to approach with any questions you may have. You will change class every 35 to 40 minutes, unless it is a double class. This can cause concern for some. That is why it's important to take the time to familiarise yourself on your first day. Keep your timetable with you at all times. It's good to make copies of this. Teachers understand that it can take time for students to get to know the layout of the school. You will not get into trouble if you get lost moving between classrooms. The most important thing to remember is to find a teacher or another student as soon as possible to ask for directions. It may seem like a lot at first, but it will get easier as you get used to life in your new school. Some things will make the transfer easier. So one of these things is getting to know someone who's already in the school. This may be an older sibling or friend. They may be able to help with any questions you have and show you around the place. Getting to know your timetable is really important. We will cover what a general timetable looks like in this programme. It'll be confusing at first, as schools have different names for classes, different names for classrooms, and different subjects. Secondary school teachers are aware of this and will help you get to know your new school and timetable. The timetable will tell you what room you're in, what subject and what teacher. It will also give you the time. Having some information about the school is really important also. You will receive this anyway, but it may be a good idea to look up your school on the internet. Some schools have interactive maps that you can actually virtually walk around the school. This can really help to bring down the nerves for your first day, as you'll already be familiar with it. You may have classmates from your school going to the same school as you. This is a good support, but remember to mingle with others and try to get to know all the other first years coming from different schools. They may not have a buddy from primary school on their first day. You will be the only year in school on your first day. This may change this year, however, schools will do their best to make sure this happens. Make the most of having the school to yourself on your first day and get to know the layout. It could be a very busy place with all the students back at once. This depends, of course, what secondary school you are going to. They all vary in size, but it can still be difficult to get to know a new environment. You'll meet your principal and some of your teachers on your first day. Remember that the school will want you to feel happy and comfortable, so don't feel shy about asking any questions. There are a few things to remember when you start secondary school that may help with this transition. Always keep a lock on your locker. You'll be given dedicated locker times by your school. Larger schools sometimes allocate times to different years to keep this area accessible and quiet. Make sure you take your homework diary to every class, as teachers may want to see it. It's also helpful to make note of homework given in one diary so that you have all of the information in one place. Stick within the designated areas within your school. Schools may designate certain areas to junior or senior, or for each particular year. Some schools have separate areas for year groups, such as designated canteen areas at lunch. Make copies of your timetable and make sure you have this with you at all times. Try and arrive early to class. Wear your uniform correctly. Your new school will inform you very clearly on what is expected. Be conscious of your school's policy around mobile phones and follow this very carefully. Keep valuables on your possession or in your locker. When considering all of these things that may make starting secondary school a little easier, please also keep in mind some more general things we can do to make the transfer easier. Having a good night's sleep is really important. If we are well rested, we can manage changes much better and prevent stress and anxiety. Food is really important also. We need fuel. You may find the first few weeks very tiring from all the new information and new surroundings. Eating healthily and regularly can help us to stay focused and take in more information. Try to ensure you get up early and have a good breakfast. Getting into a good routine at the start of school is really helpful. To manage longer days and homework, it's important to break up your day. We would advise changing out of your uniform when you get home from school. Take some time for yourself. This may be playing outside, going for a walk, watching a short programme, spending time with friends or family, or just having a nice dinner. Whatever helps you unwind. Set aside time to complete homework. Try to complete homework on the evening you get it so it doesn't build up. This is where your diary is very useful. There are loads of supports to help you to settle into secondary school. It's important to use the worksheet that was sent to you to make note of some supports that you can use when you're trying to settle into secondary school. It's a big step in your life, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the change. You'll make new friends and learn new skills. Remember that there is a lot of support available to you to make the transition easier. This includes parents, your principal, your year head, your class tutors, your teachers, friends from primary school, your new classmates. Maybe some of you have some older siblings or cousins, and your local youth centre is also here to assist. The KDYS have youth centres in Tralee, Killarney, Listowel, Castle Island and Killorglin. In rural areas there are weekly youth clubs. They meet every Friday during school term and are open to anyone in secondary school. This is a great way to get to know other people from your area and perhaps your new school. We are now ready to move on to section 2. Michelle is going to take us through new subjects and timetables in a bit more detail.